Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tracy again with TR's Tarot Talk 1111. I am here to do your advice for the next 7 days. Let's see. I was trying to cover up the words on these cards because I didn't. These are your advice cards, and I kind of wanted it to be a surprise for you. So pile number 1 is the it's not sodalite, it is lapis lazuli. I don't want to pick it up because I don't want you to see what's underneath, but it's lapis lazuli. If you picked the crystal with the 2 lovebird owls, it's pile number 2, and pile number 3 is Ganesha. So take a moment and pick your piles. Again, it's advice for the next 7 days. For those of you that are regular viewers that have been waiting for your zodiac sign to come up, I truly, truly apologize. My boyfriend Jim just had a acute gallbladder attack, and because he had that heart attack back in May, it scared him because it was painful in the chest too. So we thought it could have been a heart attack. Took him to the emergency room over the weekend and found out that he had like impacted gallbladder full of stones. And so he's in the hospital, and I have to make these videos kind of quickly and get to the hospital to be with him. His blood pressure was extremely low. They're calling in the cardiac specialist to make sure that his heart's okay. And excuse me. So, I don't know how many videos I'll be able to put out this week, but I wanted to make sure I get you your advice for the next 7 days. Now, remember, the advice could be in any area of your life. I don't look at the cards. I just shuffle and draw them with the intention of advice for you for the next 7 days, okay? So I'll read the intentions of the cards and let you know what area of your life I think might be being affected this week. All right, we're going to move on here and get started. Pile number 1, if you picked the lapis lazuli, this will be your reading. I'm going to put your advice over here, and we're going to start with, this is the heart of the matter for the week. Ooh, we have 7 of Swords with politics. Wow. All right, so there could be a little duplicity going on for you this week. You know, this can show up in many ways. You know, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I don't know, I'm hearing the term, there's a fox in the hen house. So there could be something that you need to keep a close eye on this week. You know, I'll look at the other cards to see what area of your life it might be in. But it does seem that there could be some, because it uses the word politics. It could be in the workplace. It could be in your friend group. But we'll have to see what the rest of the cards say. But this is somebody who's pretending, putting on a good face, pretending that they have your best interest in mind. But behind the scenes, they probably have their own best interest at hand. To go with that, we have purse. Pay attention to your finances. So this could be related to money. You know, if you if you are looking to invest money, or if you leave money lying around your house, or if somebody's trying to swindle you, keep an eye on your pocketbook or your wallet this week. It looks to me like Spirit's trying to warn you that somebody could be trying to somehow get their hands on your finances. And maybe trying to trick you in some way. Excuse me. So we have Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups. And Temperance. Let's see what your other cards are. Excuse me. We have Better Than You Can Imagine. We have Message. Yeah, see, you've got these knights here. Angels of the Four Directions. So whatever's going on, you're very divinely protected. We have Peace and Bittersweet. Okay. Although it's rather vague, Spirit's not being real, explicitly direct. But you've got two knights here. This could be two different people, or this could be indicative. Sometimes the Knight of Swords for me is a timing card. So it could be something that comes in quickly that seems a little bit too good to be true with this message, right? Better than you can imagine. Don't take any wooden nickels. This is what, literally, I have a spirit guide that I swear has a great sense of humor. Irony. Has a lot of irony. But we have, basically, I want to say that you're going to be okay, regardless of whether or not you fall for this. But hopefully you'll get this message before, in plenty of time to kind of be aware. But I see a message coming in. It could come in rather quickly. And I think it's going to seem a little too good to be true. And I do think it's something that of value. It could be in the emotional realm. It doesn't have to be financial. But let's just give a for instance, okay? With the Knight of Cups, that can be a very romantic gesture, right? So it could be somebody that you really care about, somebody that you're sweet on, or somebody that flatters you, somebody with a silver tongue, you know, that wants to flatter you. When I get financial cards, it can be literal. It could be your finances. It could be, you know, if somebody's wooing you and then wants you to send them money in the mail, or, you know, if you've been online and you've connected with somebody digitally. There's so many fishers out there, right? Scams, where a person will pretend to be in love with you, and, you know, they tell you, if you send me $1,000, I can get a plane ticket and come to be with you, or stuff like that. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just trying to come up with a good, for instance, that might maybe show you the energy. First of all, I want you to know that you're very protected with the angels of the four directions. Second of all, I want you to really take your time thinking this through. We've got bittersweet here with somebody offering somebody else a cake. And you have the word peace with this deck. And you have the dove in both of these. So if this is somebody that you've had a falling out with, that you've been kind of wishing to hear from, there's a message coming. But Spirit wants you to be careful that it's not too good to be true. And for someone, I just need to say this because it just came into my head, and I follow my guidance. This could be 2 different areas of your life this week. There could be 2 messages here because you have 2 knights. So there could be this Knight of Swords with the 7 of Swords that is the one that you can't trust. And it could be to do with your finances and your career. And then there might be a second one here with the Knight of Cups. It says better than you can imagine. With temperance, peace, and bittersweet. Just for one, like, I want to tell you, most of you, I would just be very leery of anything that seems too good to be true this week. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. You know, my dad used to say, if something looks too good on, if you know, like if you're buying a car and they hype you up and they tell you, oh, it's the best thing, it's the best thing. You're really lucky. Today we marked it down by 20%, and next week it'll go back up again if you don't make a decision today, if you don't buy that property today, if you don't buy that timeshare. You know how slick salespeople are. For most of you, I'm getting the fact that, you know, with this peace card, there might be a really, 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 really too good to be true offer that you might have to turn down, or you might be divinely guided to turn down. And it could be a bit bittersweet. It could have you anxious because it's kind of exactly what you wanted with the birthday cake and the wish. It's like, oh, this is exactly what I want. But your gut might be telling you to kind of take your time. Don't make a decision while you're in a low frequency, a low vibration. There seems to be a need for you to balance yourself with the Temperance card. And really, because, you know, we can get excited when we see something or someone making an offer to us that seems too good to be true. We can get really excited about it. And we can make a very fast decision with the Knight of Swords, and then later regret it with bittersweet. Spirit wants you to calm yourself, find a peaceful place within you, take your time, and weigh all your options this week before you make your decision, especially if you've been, I'm getting a feeling in my chest like woe is me, like, you know, maybe you've been feeling a bit downtrodden or just, I don't know what word I want to use. Blue. I was looking at the cards. I'm like, I don't know what word to use, and I'm seeing all the blue. If you've been feeling blue, and then somebody or something comes in and says, listen, I got the perfect fix. I'm going to help you. This is a sure deal. Just know your worth, know your value, take your time. Don't make a decision until you have peace in your heart, because you might regret it with bittersweet. It might be a little bit too good to be true, even though it presents itself as a wish fulfillment. She's look at the person offering it, and the other person is thinking, it looks really yummy, but it's not what I wanted. Or it's what I want, but it's not real. Like, it's not real. And if this is in love and romance and you have 2 people to choose from, Because with 2 nights, it could be a compromise. You know, you might have to compromise. Or you might feel like you have to compromise. You might feel like you have to take one because the other one is taking too long. If you've been lonely and blue and you've been wanting somebody in your life and one person is taking so long, but they're the one with the cup, they're the one you truly love, they're the one you're truly wishing for, and then somebody new or somebody different or somebody else comes in and they move faster and they kind of check most of the boxes, but not all of the boxes. If you're settling, if you're the one wearing the false mask, if you're the one, because this doesn't have to be deception, this could just be inner deception, you know, like you convincing yourself that you'd rather take someone's offer that is not quite exactly what you want, rather than be alone, or rather than to go without, or rather than to wait. There could be a message here that, you know, it takes time for this baby here to reach its full potential, until something can be given birth to, till something can come out. I want to read this. I don't know why, but it feels important. So I'm going to read from the book to see if it can give us a little more information. And it must be important because I literally opened the book directly to it without searching. So the dragonfly. It says, before Dragonfly becomes her most authentic, see, authentic self, she spends about 4 years underwater as a creepy little nymph creature. The dragonfly nymph has no comprehension of her own greatness. How could a creature that lives underwater even remotely fathom that there existed an atmosphere she had no perception of, which she would not only live in but fly in as well? Dragonfly brings a sacred message. There's the message about your belief in your future self. She says your perception of reality is quite limited and naive, and your image of your future self is incredibly narrow. But that's okay. Just be aware of this. If you have a dream, yes, a wish, Dragonfly is telling you all you have to do is work on it, and life will do the rest for you. Don't try to figure out what it's supposed to look like with your limited perceptions. Don't look at setbacks as the end of the world. They were meant to happen to propel and stretch you. Just keep working on your dream, and life will create something so much bigger than you have the ability to currently understand. Dragonfly's medicine teaches you to surrender, first, your need for something to be like the limited view you hold in your head. Second, have absolute trust and faith that life will deliver something greater. Third, be patient. Yeah, temperance. Last, get excited that something bigger than your dream is destined for you. No settling. No settling. Do not compromise. Know your value, okay? Know your worth. Especially I mean, it's exactly what I channeled. You are being so divinely guided and protected, but I feel like you're impatient, and you might actually be lonely is what I'm hearing, or blue, or despondent. and really wanting something or someone to show up much more quickly than they are. And so I want you to be your true, authentic self. And I want you to be patient with the process. And if something shows up that promises to be almost what you want, but it's not quite what you want, there's a message here that there's something much better for you that is in vitro. It's in conception. And if you rush, you might regret it with bittersweet. So Spirit wants you to be in a place of trust and peace, with faith that what you've wished for, your wish has been heard. Especially, and with purse, it could be financially. It could be that you're creating something. It could be that you've been working hard at something. But there's a message to wait, to be patient, because something better is coming than what will be offered to you this week, is what it feels like. Never give your power to me, though. I am not, you are the last word in your life. You make your own free will decision. But your guidance and your advice this week is to rise, rise. I'm noticing here, and I saw the keywords. I didn't read the back, but your advice is elevate your energy. And look at her posturing. Her arms up in the air. She's offering high vibrational energy upward. Upward. Whatever you've been praying for, whatever you've been asking for, whatever you've been wishing for it's been heard, and it's being worked on. It's being balanced and calibrated and created for you. But if this is a manifestation, whether it's love or career and finances or whatever it is that you're wishing for, you're not vibrationally in the place of receiving it. And if you rush it, and I've done this a million times, like, for instance, I'm going to give you for instance, and I'm going to use materialism instead of romance, because I don't know, what you're going to be offered this week. With the Knight of Cups, it could literally be a date. It could be somebody that, says all the right things, does all the right things, but isn't the thing that you've been asking for. Close, but no cigar, right? But I'm going to use materialism as for instance. A couple of years back, here in Pennsylvania, I have to have an emissions test and inspection. Not just emissions, but, overall, there's 2 stickers I have to get. One for admissions and one for, the safety of the vehicle. And I went and had my car inspected. And they told me I had a leak in my exhaust at the manifold. Well, the manifold for my car is what they call a manicad, something like that. It's 2 things in one. You can't buy one without buying the other. They're one unit. And it's extremely expensive. It was like $400 plus what it would cost to have it installed. And then I had 2 tires that were just really barely, it's like they were right at the line for inspection. So, you know, it depends on the inspector. They can deny it or they can accept it. And the one I took them to denied it. And then I had 2 brakes or front brakes that needed replaced. And it really added up to about $800. I didn't have money for it. And so I went and talked to my dad. I'm like, hey, Dad, can we take a loan? Can you co-sign a loan for me so that I can buy a new car and just, you know, sell this one to somebody in Ohio that doesn't have emissions? And so he agreed to. And we went shopping and looking for cars. And I was in a hurry. I was in a big-ass hurry. And the first car that I looked at, I wanted to pay for right then and there. I wanted to get it, and I wanted to own it, and I wanted to be done with the whole process. I didn't want to take my time and keep looking. It wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't really even what I needed, but it was in my financial window, right? Within my means. And my dad said, honey, let's not rush. Let's take a couple of days, right? And see what's out there before you make your decision. And I didn't listen. I purchased the car, and 3 days later, the engine blew in it. Now, gratefully, in the state of Pennsylvania, there's a lemon law, and the dealership had to take the car back and had to refund my money. But if I didn't have that protection, right? Angels of the 4 directions. I would have really been hit hard, $4,000 hard in my wallet because of a car salesman that was sneaky and a smooth talker, slick talker. So I used a materialistic example, but this could definitely fall into other areas of your life. You put it where you believe it belongs. But I was desperate, and I was sad, and I was frustrated, and I wasn't feeling like I could possibly find something better. And I could have. I really could. And I did. I did. With time, with patience, with peace in my heart instead of stress in my heart. So I'm going to use that for your example, but it could be love. It could be that you're settling for one lover because the other one is taking too long. And, you know, your big advice this week is to not rush into any decisions or settle for anything less than what you've wished for, because your wish has been heard and is being granted, but you have to be in vibrational alignment to receive it. So you need to raise your vibration in faith, trust, and peace. Don't make any decisions under duress, okay? All right, here's your advice. It says your thoughts are vibrations that attract positive or negative energy. Notice your current emotional state. Clear any negativity through conversation, movement, breath work, prayer, meditation, and so on. Then guide your thoughts back to love and abundant possibilities. When you elevate your energy, you attract abundance, wealth, prosperity, and I'm going to add love into your life. All right? So don't be taking any wooden nickels. And don't settle for less than what you should know you are worthy of. Because bittersweet is not the place that you want to be. Bittersweet means it's not horrible, but it's not what you want. And sometimes we want what we want, and when we settle for something less than we want, we regret it. And the very thing that we wanted doesn't fully manifest into our life because now there's no longer energetic space for it, because we filled it with something less than. And it's literally, Spirit's literally telling you that what you want is what's best. It's better than you can imagine. You just have to be patient and trust that as soon as you're as soon as everything falls into vibrational alignment, it's going to rise and it's going to renew itself. There's something here too about renewal for somebody. And dragonflies really do represent hope. And it's looking beyond the surface, you know. Dragonflies skim the surface. There's something deeper here that needs to be looked at before you make your decision. All right, this was way too long, guys. I'm in a hurry and I'm just, I'm kind of channeling deeper than I have time for. I love you, though. I hope that resonates. I hope that kind of hits you in the right place so you make the right decision. That was a half-hour long, good Lord. So we are at 31 minutes in. We're going to move on now to pile number 2. Oops, I don't want you to see your advice card yet. But if you picked the beautiful lovey-dovey owls, I can't remember the name of that crystal. The heart of the matter for you this week is clinging to the past. 5 of Cups. You know, look at her. This is, you know, 5s are all about, it's not a comfortable energy. It's a conflicted energy. It's meant to move you into creating change. And especially the 5 of Cups, it's the need for you to move beyond the past. It's a need for you to grieve, clear, purge, come to peace with whatever has happened in your past so that you can see the blessing, see the chalice right behind her. The blessing that is coming because, you know, nothing ever is meant to last forever. This is an experience that is regretted. You know, I regret having that experience. I regret that decision, or I regret something. And it's emotions. It's like I'm emotionally stuck in the past, grieving, and I can't see that there are blessings coming. And look at all those sparkles behind this chalice just waiting to fill your cup, but you can't grasp them, you can't see them, you can't have them until you start being more present and not focused on the past. So let's see what's going on here. We have kangaroo. Unsettled times, need to plan ahead. So unsettled times, I mean, that's the 5 of anything, right? 5s are meant to be chaotic. They're meant to be uncomfortable, unsettled, in order to create change. And so there's a need for you to kind of look to the future instead of the past. There's a need to plan ahead, not behind. We have the Queen of Swords. Ooh, there's that chalice. Ace of Cups. Hallelujah. Right there. There's definitely something wanting to come in for you. Knight of Wands, passionate adventure. Okay, so this could be around love, obviously, but this could also be about you're just stuck in not believing in something. Not, you know, it's like once bitten, twice shy. The Queen of Swords is the tainted queen. She's been burnt, once burnt, right? She's been burnt and hurt. And maybe there's an opportunity for new love and passion, or maybe just an adventure, a new adventure, probably love, but maybe just an adventure that is presenting itself, but you can't possibly see it because you're too busy living in what didn't work, what didn't make you happy, that you might miss an opportunity, because aces are a new opportunity for your future. Need to plan ahead because you're still stuck in the past, grieving, because, you know, the Queen of Swords, she becomes tainted. She's like, oh no, this looks good, looks like fun, looks like something I want, but I don't trust anybody or anything anymore because I've been hurt and I haven't fully integrated and grieved and released that hurt and pain and healed from it and energetically able to move forward. But Spirit's telling you, if you don't create change, if you don't move forward, you're going to keep sitting in this feeling of unsettled times. There's something better ahead. But in order to have it, you need to, because I'm seeing the timepiece in her brain. And it says, need to plan ahead. There's a timing element here too. That this new beginning that's coming in, that's going to be exciting and passionate, you don't trust it. The Knight of Wands gets a bad rap as being the playa, right? Somebody that comes in and leaves and comes in and leaves, and it burns real bright like a match, and then doesn't have enough energy or fuel to keep it or maintain it, so it doesn't last. And that's probably what you've experienced in the past. And now there's this new opportunity and a need for you to move forward, but there's mistrust. You don't trust it. But so far, and I've got more cards here, so far it feels like there's a need for you to trust it. There's a need for you to heal what didn't work out so that you can move ahead, plan ahead. We have playful. Yeah, see, the Knight of Wands is playful. It's adventurous. It's passionate. It's taking a risk, taking a chance. It's, you know, do you want to go bungee jumping? Oh, no, no, no. You know, I'm afraid. Well, being afraid, by the way, it's master number 44. There's something fun. Love initiation, fun and playful, that wants to come in for you, but I don't think you trust it because of something from your past. Great achievement, yeah. See, you've gone through, the Queen of Swords has been through a lot. She's been through a lot. And because of that, there's a lot of healing that comes with the Queen of Swords. She has to really, first of all, she has to establish better boundaries. She has to learn to speak her truth. She has to learn to be more discerning about the people that she trusts. And sometimes it's a difficult transition. It's a difficult healing. But Spirit's saying with this great achievement that you've kind of reached a milestone, a cause for celebration. You're ready for something new, something better. And they want you to approach it with a childlike manner, right? Ace of Cups to the playful. This gives me Page of Cups energy. We have caution. We have see beyond the past. See, you're clinging to the past. And we have despondence. I think you've thrown up walls around your heart. Healthy boundaries are always necessary in any healthy relationship. We, in a healthy relationship, need to know, we need to make a list of our negotiables and non-negotiables. And then in a healthy relationship, we need to make clear, Queen of Swords, speak clearly our truth about what is negotiable, what is not negotiable. But moving forward is necessary here. Spirit's saying it's okay to be cautious, but you've healed beyond this. And look, this is a 23, which breaks down to a 5. There's a need for you to grieve and heal the past and move beyond it, see beyond the past. And despondence is all about apathy, right? It's like the 4 of Cups. It's like, I don't trust it. I'm getting offered this new cup and I don't trust it. And this woman here with her hands up in the air, she's got the world right here. This is giving me like Empress energy. The Empress is always giving birth to the earth. You know, she's the mother of the earth. And then there's this woman down here who I would say is probably the Queen of Swords saying, yeah, bitch, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt and the beer koozie, and I don't know if I trust you. But I think that Spirit's telling you to trust this one. That you've done the healing. You're ready to open your heart. You're ready to see beyond the past. And you're ready to have your next adventure. And to have fun having your next adventure. You know, I'm going to give you an example. And most of you guys have been following me for a while. If you're new here, thank you for being here. But as most of you know, I resonate with being a divine feminine, a twin flame sacred soulmate. And the whole journey, the mirroring between the sacred soulmates, the shadow and the light, our naive self versus our new, been there, done that, tainted self. Divine counterparts come in order to mirror to us where we have fallen away from our inner child, our most authentic self, our naive, innocent, playful, loving, trusting self. And we've been hurt, we've been burnt, we've been tainted, right? And the whole journey is about healing that. It's about looking into that mirror and bringing up the past so that we can heal it and clear it and move beyond it. And I think you've been doing that. And it doesn't have to be romantic. I'm using me for an example. But my twin and I are in separation. And I used my free will choice to manifest new love. And I manifested a high-level soulmate who really kind of shows up in a way that makes me feel playful and alive and safe. And having the experience I'm having, I'm very cautious. I have strong boundaries. I do sometimes allow the past to kind of ruin the fun of the moment with this despondence and this inability to trust. But what I do is I ask myself every day, Is this an experience you want to have? And with my free will, I say yes or no. And every day it's still been a yes. Will it last forever? Will my twin come around? Will I end up in union? I don't know. And I'm not living in the past anymore. And I'm not projecting myself. You know, when you worry, you're projecting your consciousness into the future. And when you're sad or despondent, you're projecting your yourself into the past. There's a need for you to be here now, and to enjoy what's here now, and let the future take care of itself. You know, you've done a lot of healing, and there is Empress energy in you. But there just seems like this energy of fear that you're going to get hurt again, or that you're going to have that experience again. So I read for pile number 1 from this book, The Animal Apothecary Guidebook. So I'm going to do that for you too. See beyond the past. The beautiful black swan. The fable of the ugly duckling tells of a baby swan that nested with baby ducks. All the ducks made fun of little swan for how different he looked, which made him feel inherently not good enough. Little swan compared himself to what a duck should look like, rather than own the nature of his true self, a swan. Sadly, little swan began to assume the identity of the ugly duckling. As time went on, little swan grew and became the most beautiful black swan, and some would even say more magnificent than the common ducks that bullied him. This card is the story of what happened to the black swan as an adult. Reflected in the water is his heartbroken child self, despite how gorgeous black swan became. He suffered from severe shame and feelings of unworthiness. He could not see the glorious truth of himself. He became crippled by the delusion that something was inherently wrong with him. He believed a wicked distortion that diminished his worth. He was utterly unaware of his captivating beauty, and could honor neither himself nor the gifts the great mystery bestowed upon him. He became obsessed with outside validation and compared himself to other winged creatures. The ugly duckling finally woke up to his true self as the beautiful swan and asks you to do the same. Swan's medicine asks you to accept that you feel your insecurities, but do not submit to them. Whenever you feel small, it is not reality. It is the old story and the programming that brainwashed you. Please wake up from the illusion and honor what the Great Spirit gifted you, the gift of yourself. No one in the world is like you. Own that you are a rare miracle. So whether this is romantic or this is about self-love, Spirit's telling you to stop telling the old story. You are a great achievement. The Creator doesn't make junk. You were made perfect the way you are. And it's time for you to evolve beyond the programming of being less than, or not being good enough, or not, being worthy. Because something new is coming. And in order to fully embody it, to fully have fun with it, to fully find joy and happiness and playfulness and renewal again, there's a need for you to see your beauty and to own it. To own it. Yes, it's okay to be cautious, but if you've put walls up, you need to take them down, and you need to really You need to see the truth here. The truth is you were never broken. You were never not good enough. You were never meant to be whatever other people told you you were. They couldn't see the true you and therefore tried to make you fit into their perception of you. But you're rare and you're beautiful and needed, necessary. You know, it's like, how dreary would the world be if everything was the same color, if every person had the same personality, the same looks, if we all, you know, were cookie cut from everybody else. Whatever makes us different is what makes us unique and beautiful. And I think that you've been on a healing journey where you need to heal a false perception. And this, you know, some of you do resonate, I know you do, with the twin flame journey. And if that's the case, you know, it's time for you to see beyond the past and to use the mirror that you've been given, which is your twin, to heal the inner child, the inner you, and bring you from the Queen of Swords to the Empress, to know the worth, know that you are divine feminine or masculine, whatever you resonate with. But something new is coming. There's a need for you to get out of this despondence and move forward. You can be cautious if you want to. You can have healthy boundaries. You can have your little list of, you know, negotiables. What's negotiable, what's not negotiable. But you better know yourself. You better do your mirror work. You better know thyself before you start making non-negotiable lists, because sometimes what's non-negotiable really should be negotiable, right? Maybe we are being too stringent, too cold, too aloof, too despondent. Because it looks to me like something really fun is coming, something to celebrate. Look at the celebration going on. Your guides are celebrating you. They're like, listen, you are so beautiful, you're so worthy, you're so ready. Just put the past behind you, learn what you need to, be cautious if you have to. But it really is time for you to open your heart to love again. And to trust that you are lovable and worthy. And don't accept anything but people that mirror and reflect that back to you. Because if they can't see your beauty, if they're just one more person telling you you're the ugly duckling, then it's time for you to get out there, put yourself out there playfully, and find the right one. Because there's definitely a right one for everyone. And there's a cup here, and there's a cup here. See it right there? So your advice is celebrate your love. It says, when we cherish our beloved, the bond grows stronger. We create deeper levels of trust, intimacy, and friendship. It's all too easy to get comfortable and put your relationship on cruise control. So spice it up instead. Do something special and spontaneous. And if you're currently looking for your soulmate, take yourself out for a fun date. The happier and more connected you are to yourself, the more attractive you will be to others. And that's exactly what I was feeling. If you're already being offered a new cup and you're afraid to accept it because you're afraid that it's going to be just one more cup like the past, there, you know, because this feels like Four of Cups energy, this despondence. There's a need for you to at least be adventurous. You know, give it a shot. Give it a chance. And then you can be cautious. You can use your newfound intelligence to decide if it's right for you or wrong for you, but be strong in knowing your worthiness. Be strong in knowing that you're capable of seeing the truth and not falling for one more of the same, right? And if you've been alone and you prefer to be alone because you're in this despondent energy of, oh, I'm just going to live my life alone, lonely, without anybody because it's easier than being in a relationship because relationships hurt. Spirit's saying, oh no, it's time for you to get back out there. It's time for you to have fun. Take yourself out on a date. The happier and more connected you are to yourself, self-love, self-worth, the more attractive you become to love. And then love moves forward towards you. But there is a need for you to really be playful and vibrant and beautiful, and to have more faith and trust in yourself and your ability, your newfound ability with discernment on what is good and what is bad. But you can't compare every single thing that comes into your life to the devil. You can't, it's a blanket statement. All men or all women are X, Y, and Z. When you do that, you kind of isolate yourself in a belief system that really isn't true. It's a mirror of your trauma. So your advice is to have fun, to date, to get out there, to plan for the future, to stop dwelling on the past, to do your shadow work, to go within and look at the mirror, figure out who you are and what you want, and it's time to give birth to a future plan instead of living in the past. All right, so this week you really need to kind of put yourself out there. And if there's an opportunity that's already presented itself that you've been too afraid to entertain, I would say go for it. Be cautious if you need to, but don't be so cautious that you miss a great opportunity for fun and excitement and adventure and maybe even true love. All right, so we are moving on now. I love you guys. To pile number 3 at 57:40. All right, pile number 3. If you picked the Ganesha removes obstacles and he brings blessings. So let's see what the heart of the matter is for you for the next 7 days. Ooh, we have schizophrenia, 2 of Swords. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Yeah, stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm getting all kinds of, what do you call those? Euphemisms? I don't even know. But I'm getting all kinds of cliche phrases for you. We have key. Successful outcome to your problems. Yeah. So you're looking for the key. You're looking for the answer. You want a successful outcome to your problem. But let's see if Spirit's going to bring it. You got 2 of these. Everybody else got 1. We have hat. You will be playing a different role. There's a need for you to do something different than you did before. Ooh, we have the Empress. Mama's in the house. Divine feminine energy. Oh, and we have the Queen of Swords again. Okay, pile 2. Did you follow me over to pile 3? And we have the 7 of Cups. Yeah, there's confusion here. There's confusion. There's a need for you to be playing a different role. The role you need to be playing this time is you need to be embodying all of the queens, because the Empress embodies the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. And she's mastered all 4 queens. But this is in the realm of decision making with the 2 of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the 7 of Cups. There's a decision that needs to be made. And the one place that you're not in this Empress energy is this Queen of Swords. This is where you're out of balance. And it's because you need to be playing a different role in this decision making. Not the role of the Empress. See, the Empress is loving, kind, compassionate, neutral. She's neutral energy. 0 point energy. But for whatever this decision is, you either need to go from the Queen of Swords to the neutral position in order to find the key and the answer, or vice versa. You need, if you're always neutral, if you're always compromising and loving and kind and compassionate, and if you're always giving, if you're always, then you might need to be more discerning. You might need to speak your truth. You might need to put up a boundary. You need to put on a different hat, right? It's like, okay, well, I have all 4 queens within me. Maybe this week you need the Queen of Swords as the hat you should be wearing, because look at that magnificent hat that she is wearing. Or if you're always the Queen of Swords and you always feel like you're kind of bitchy and cool and sharp, assertive, there might be a need for compromise. There might be a need for you to wear this hat, this halo, instead. Let's see what the other cards say. We have you are more. Thank you. Yes, you are. Number 30. We have love, 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 love. All you need is love. Do, 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 do. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Love is the key. Love is the key, guys. I don't know what you're trying to decide. I don't know what you're confused about. But I feel like you need to go from the Queen of Swords to the Empress, to love, to know your worth. You are more than this Queen of Swords. And you deserve more. Look at, I just noticed she has heads in the background on spikes. I think you've been in a rotten mood. Somebody's pissed you off and you've been kind of a force to be reckoned with. And whatever decision or choice you need to make this week that you're confused about, you need to get out of warrior mode and come back to love, back to the Empress, knowing that you are more than just the Queen of Swords, is what it feels like. Look, we have commitment. And it says contract. Ew, it's not going to contract. Creativity, which is Empress energy also. And abundance. Yes. All right. So I don't know what your question is. I really don't. All I know is that I do believe some of you picked 3 and should watch 2. And if you pick 2, I think you followed me over to 3. Because look at, there's abundance. I mean, this is also the choice, right? Here's the man sitting there, drinking, stressed and worried and fretting because he dropped something down in the grate that was valuable. And he's freaking out because he thinks it's gone forever. But there is a solution. On one side, energetically, this man is locked away from his abundance. He can't get to it. He can't problem solve to find the key. Oh my God. To find the key to the locked chest. But this person over here is using creativity to unlock the chest and to retrieve the abundance. And the key for you is love. Love. So whatever this commitment, this contract, this decision, you need to know your value, know your worth. You need to go above the problem to find the solution. Spirit's saying you are more than your fears. You are a creator being. And if you use your creative mind with love and compassion, you will know whether or not it's time to commit to something or someone. See, when you make a decision, it's an energetic commitment. You know, quitting smoking. As long as you say, I'm trying, I'm going to one day, I can't, I'm not ready, every time I try, I can't, I always fail. The difference between a person that can't quit smoking and a person that can quit smoking is somebody who commits to their decision, makes a commitment to the decision that they're making. And there's a need to make a decision. The key is love. And you need to wear a different hat. And the hat you need to wear is love and creativity. And that's going to unlock the abundance, which could be money, it could be love, it could be friendship, it could be anything. But the key is love. And so if you're trying to quit smoking, or if you're trying to decide on, you know, whether you should take a trip because, you know, your picture was a woman with a suitcase. If you're trying to decide if you should leave a situation or stay, you need to ask yourself, where is the abundance? Where is the love? I was in a marriage for 20 years. 10 of it was perfect. Not perfect. 10 of it, I felt the love. The love was there. The love was there. And then 10 of it, the love was gone. And it was time for me to go. It was time for me to leave. It was time for me to make the decision to move toward love, to move toward my abundance, to move beyond the problem. But I couldn't break the contract or the commitment because I believed a religious belief that till death do you part. And I also believed that I was a mother and that the children came first. And yet I was always in this energy of lack, this energy of, oh my God, I can't survive here. I'm just barely making it. It affected my money. It affected my well-being. And it was time for me to pack a bag and go, but I couldn't make that decision because I was so committed to the first decision I made. Sometimes it's okay to break a commitment if there's no love. Your advice is to follow the love. If there's nothing but anger, resentment, cold, calculating words, if it's harsh, if you find yourself constantly needing to stand up for yourself, needing to be a bitch, needing to speak your truth, put up those boundaries, if you're ready to, you know, heads have been rolling, you're just like in this mood of I am about ready to kill everybody and everything. I am done, done, done. Poke me with a fork. And yet you stay in a situation because you feel committed to it, because you feel like it's your job to be loving, compassionate, you know, then what you're doing is you're seeking validation and love external to yourself because somehow, some way you feel like you're stuck in this commitment. This is one half of the sword. For others of you, it'll be the other side. But for those of you that are staying someplace because you feel committed to it, but there's no love there, there's no creativity, there's no abundance, and it's limiting you and keeping you in lack mentality, it could possibly be that the reason why you're staying is because you're looking for love in all the wrong places. And all you're finding is more reasons to defend yourself and fight for yourself, to hold boundaries. And maybe you're afraid to cut ties with the situation for fear that it's the best you're going to get, the best you're ever going to have. And Spirit's saying, that is so limiting. You have so many options. And the only thing keeping you in this mindset is a commitment, a decision, right? A decision that you're committed to. And for some of you, it's a commitment that it's okay for you to break, because it's not the best place for you. It's you staying in a situation that is stifling your creativity. It's keeping you in warrior mode and not allowing you to be in the energy of flow and love and successful. It could be literally blocking your abundance. Because you think it's all you're worthy of. It's the best you can get. But Spirit's going to tell us here, adventure awaits. Something better is coming. This isn't the best you can get. But there's a fear of letting go of a certain commitment in order to explore and go after something better, because you have a belief system that this is the best you can get. And for some of you, you're staying because you're so loving and kind and nurturing. And you're trying to be this, but they keep making you this. Or the situation keeps making you this. It's like, this is who I really am, but this is who I need to be in this situation. And Spirit's saying, if it's not love, you're not supposed to be there. Now, on the other equation, if you're in this energy all the time, and you're committed to everybody and everything, and you allow people to like be energy vampires and suck all the love out of you, that's preventing you from your creative abundance, from being able to create abundance, because you're energetically depleted and constant. It's the same thing. It's just the different decision. In one decision, you need to go, you need to leave. And in the other decision, you need to open up and receive. And something needs to come to you. But love is the key. Love is the answer. And I can see why you're confused, because I think with the Empress being here, love is your natural state. Love is who you are. Love is what you do. But we have a 10 here, and that's a completion. That's a contract that's ready to close. Or it's a contract that did close, and now it's time for you. Now you have new decisions. For instance, if you did leave, if you did make a decision, like I did to get my divorce, when I got to the other end of that, I had so many options, so many choices. Where am I going to live? What am I going to do for a living? How am I going to survive? Spirit's like, okay, well, one contract finished and a new one awaits. Pack your bags and let's just get creative and go. You deserve adventure. You deserve love. It's time for you to change the hat you're wearing, and you need to decide, are you the overgiver and you need to be the Queen of Swords? Or are you the Queen of Swords because you're tired of overgiving, and there's a need for you to be less giving? Either way, love is the answer. If you want you want to make the right choice, you want to creatively reach your abundance, you have to know what you're worth. The universe will always pay you exactly what you believe you're worth. If you think you're worth a penny's all you're ever going to make in your life. Because it's all you're willing to commit to. If you think you're worth $1 billion, then $1 billion is what's going to come to you creatively, because the universe is always going to pay you what you're worth. And who determines your worth is you. It's not your boss, it's not your lover, it's not other people. It's a belief system. You need to commit to love for yourself, even if it feels selfish. And if you've been being selfish, and there's a need for you to be more loving, then that's the hat and the role you need to take. But right now, this indecision is blocking your creativity and is blocking your abundance. And so in order to come up with the right decision, you're going to need to switch hats. And then you're going to need to either break a commitment or make a commitment. And I can hear you saying right now, well, Tracie, that's why I'm here. Because I don't know if I need to break a commitment or make a commitment. Well, then the answer and the key is love. Are you loved? Not should you love. And if you're not loving, then you should be loving so that you can be loved. It's a conundrum. I can see why you're confused. But the truth is, what you believe, you're creating. Creativity. And if you believe that you have to be a certain way that you're not comfortable with in order to feel validated, then it's a commitment you made through a decision that you've made or need to make. And it looks like love. You need to commit to what makes you happy. What lights you up. Something new, something fresh. It doesn't have to be new. It could just be leveling up. If you're in love, if somebody's asked you to move in with them or asked you to buy a house or asked you to move toward them, maybe marry them, commit to them. Don't do it for the money. Do it for the love. Or don't do it at all. Because you're meant to really be happy in whatever decision you make. It's meant to enrich your experience. Adventure is an enriching, happy experience. It's experiencing something new and fresh that you haven't experienced before. It's growth. It's expansion. It's movement. We have break up your routine and live a little, sweetheart. It's time for some adventure. Plan a vacation. Take a spontaneous drive. A change of pace and scenery could do you good. Plus, you never know whom you'll meet or what you'll experience along the way. A fabulous new friend or partner. A spectacular meal at a charming local joint. The vista of a lifetime. Adventure awaits. So this is your advice, guys. Whatever the decision you're trying to make, you need to follow your passion, your creativity, the love. You need to know your worth, and you need to lean into it. And whatever hat you've been wearing needs to be swapped. You need to wear a different hat. If you've been a real bitch for a long time, it's time for you to put on the hat of compassion and self-love. And if you've been in the distorted feminine, because I don't read reversals, but if the Empress had come out in reverse, that would tell me something. But there's a reason I don't read reversals, because they're collective readings. Reversals make it more specific, and that would exclude some people. So you need to ask yourself, have I been testy? Have I been bitchy? Have I been wanting to chop people's heads off? Have I been feeling like somebody doesn't recognize me or love me, or have I been holding my creativity back in this lack mentality, thinking I'm never going to get what I want, I'm never going to be able to have more than I currently have. Spirit's saying, oh yes, you can. You have many options. But in order to see them, you got to be the eagle. You got to go above, beyond what your current thinking or belief system is to see the bigger picture. You are more than your thoughts. There's a need for you to get creative with your thoughts. Pros and cons. Look at all the possible outcomes and move toward love. Love is the key. All right? I love you guys. I hope this resonated. I will see you on the next upload. Namaste.